All right, all right. I believe that I am live. I hope that I'm live on Facebook, live on StreamYard. Hello, everyone. My name is Paulette Simone. I'm going to wait just a few minutes. Well, maybe not a few minutes, maybe more like a minute or two to have more people join. I know that people were looking for the link, just trying to make sure that we have all the people who want to watch. We have them here and present and accounted for. So the person who is joining in, I'm Paulette Simone. Thank you for coming. Welcome to Paulette Simone, Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. So I wish I had some elevator music, but I don't. So give us about a minute just to join. We'll be right with you. Oh, now I'm bouncing my head to music that's not there, but it works. All right, have a couple more people joining. I have my guests in the back. Well, literally in the internet world, I'll consider the back just down below, waiting in the queue to come on live. They're excited. I'm excited. Again, like I said, welcome to Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join. I don't want to start without giving, some people a chance to join me. I have a couple more people coming on board. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, couple more people joining me, and I will start probably. It's 7:03, so I probably will start at 7:05. How about that? How about a hard stop? 7:05 Bud Talk starts. Okay. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got more people coming on. Welcome to Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. We're just waiting for a couple more people to join, just so that, we don't go repeating ourselves, even though, this will be repeated later. I don't want people to feel like they're having to hear me say things twice. So just waiting for a couple more people to join, and we will get started right away. 7:05, 7:05. All right, so next time I know I'm gonna bring some music, play a little well, no, I don't want any copyright infringement problems. So maybe a little this. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. All right, thanks for joining, y'all. We're getting started in 1 minute. We are getting started in 1 minute. I'm glad that the rain stopped here in Baltimore, Maryland. That's where I'm located. We had some rain a couple days, so glad that the rain is stopping. I'm glad that people are starting to get their sun, because seasonal affective disorder is real, y'all. I am a therapist. I don't just play one on television. But no, seriously, seasonal affective disorder is real. And I think if we all told the truth, 85, 90% of Americans suffer, or maybe humans suffer from a seasonal affective disorder. It's real. I say Americans because we're the ones who do this daylight savings business. All right, looks like 7:05 has hit. So it is time to get started. All right, y'all. Like I said, and those who are joining me for the first time, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. I'm your host, Paulette Simone. If this is your first Bud Talk, let me bring you up to speed. Bud Talk is a show about all things cannabis sativa. Yes, that's right. That's right. The plant. Some call it marijuana. We've talked about why that's a bit of a stigma, so I like to call it cannabis. So on this show, we talk about all things cannabis sativa, weed, marijuana, ganja, smoke, all of it. And tonight we're going to be talking with two dynamic people about CBD, which is a cannabinoid that is a part of the cannabis sativa plant. So here on this show, we talk about, like I mentioned, cannabis in its entirety. We like to pride ourselves on education. We like to pride ourselves here at Bud Talk on knowing the facts about the plant, on knowing how to access it, whether it's in your state or another state. We know here at Bud Talk that it's important that we are advocates for the plant, as well as just people who understand it and work towards social justice, social advocacy, working towards getting our brothers and sisters that are behind the bars freed, that those that are suffering from jail sentences because of this plant, when we know that it is not something that should be an offense. Holding it or using it should not be an offense, but that's me on my soapbox. So again, thank you for joining me here on Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. The business of Bud was one of our last episodes. We also talked about we also talked about on another episode, medical cannabis. We've also talked about edibles. We talked about several things on the show. But tonight is a special episode. I did not want to let the month of March go by without celebrating women. Women's History Month. And so it was so important for me to make sure that this month did not go by without a Bud Talk, and that I did not get a chance to speak to women about what they're doing in the industry. And the story behind how I found my guest is just as incredible to me as what they're getting ready to tell us about their company. So I'm going to join them in on the call. I want to welcome Danielle Gray, founder, and Danielle Gray and Brande, founders of the World of UNOIA. They're going to come on and talk to us about their product, their company, and all things CBD. Let's get them on the line.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, ladies, how are you both?
Pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah,
feeling good.
Good. As you heard in my introduction, here at Bud Talk, we talk all about cannabis. And so I was introduced to you both by a cousin of mine who told me that you both were doing incredible things in the area of cannabis, in the area of CBD. And so, we got a little friend with us. Okay. I understand. He or she let us know that we're going to be joined tonight, and that's fine. But you, yes, my cousin called, let me know that you both were doing some incredible things, and I was just totally enthralled by the work that you're doing when I looked at your website and saw. And so I just want my audience to be able to know more about you and what you're up to. So talk to me. Tell us, what is the story? What is your product?
Yeah, so I'm Danielle. I know there's two of us here. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Brande, Elise.
And so UNOIA started 3 years ago. And it had a lot of different names. It started off as Honey Bunny. It started off as all these different things. But what we knew first when we met each other was that we were really good balance. Yeah. So she had this idea, she's a voiceover artist, had this idea that, she likes to smoke, but as you know, you speak, you do voiceover.
You wake up and I don't want to be all hoarse and stuff the next day, but I didn't want to sacrifice, being able to be a bit calmer. So came up with
the honey.
CBD honey.
Yeah, we started with the CBD honey. And then that was 3 years ago. And then we kind of kept going and realized that our vegan friends wanted agave. So then we started doing agave. And then just fast forward, we've created this space, which is UNOIA means beautiful thinking, by the way, and a space of beautiful thinkers for people to have a whole product line of CBD products. So beyond the honey and agave, we now have gummies. We now have topicals. We also have 2 dogs, as you heard earlier, that did get a CBD treat before this. We have dog treats and dog tinctures, and so that's. I mean, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, it's fine, but it's honestly,
no, it's fine. It's totally fine. We're here for it.
Use.
Yeah,
like in real life, so it's really not a hard sell. It really feels like we were meant to do this, like just to give people a better understanding as to what CBD is and how it can be useful, in your life, and not to be scared of it because of past with, marijuana. So
right. And I think too, we are cannabis enthusiasts, right? We like to smoke. We enjoy THC. We enjoy that.
We like the plant.
Yeah, we love the plant. Right. But we really start looking at CBD as another solution, not to replace anything, but as another solution, because we are building a brand. There's times that we can't be high. There's times that I'm just like, for me personally, a lot of people can operate. I'm not great at certain things like accounting. When like maybe I can creatively come up with something. So all that to say, kind of to back up a little bit, she came up with the idea, and because I do marketing, I was like, ooh, this sounds like a fun project. So we completely branded ourselves as beautiful thinkers, and everything is focused around mental health, self-care, and mindfulness. And so we want CBD to just be tools to get to those things. After you have your meditation, that feeling, if you could have that through CBD, that's what we want to help people with, in ways to kind of shut down their brain.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so that actually is one of the reasons why what you just said is one of the reasons why I tapped into you both, because I am a mental health therapist. And so that is my life's work, is to help people to achieve homeostasis. And so through cannabis, which we both, or 3 of us, know that is such a wonderful plant when it comes to helping our bodies to balance. I just tapped into your work, and I saw, the sweaters that you have, and I was like, wow, and audience, you're going to, if you register for tonight's event, woohoo, 10% off from their website, and so you'll be able to partake in some of the products that they have. But when I saw your theme with the mental health, it just totally lifted my spirits, because I just, cannabis is such an important plant when it comes to our mental health. So talk to me a little bit about how you were able to come up with the actual product, right? Because at this point, people everywhere want to be calm and want to have, a soft voice. So how did you say, all right, what's the chemistry behind this? Let's put something together with CBD. Like, how did that even happen? Like, that's pretty advanced stuff, y'all.
I went up and saw a friend up in Ohio, and they helped me, figure out a basis of a recipe. Came back home, played with it, and then I started making jars. And the jars were great, but I said, this is not enough money. So I was like, well, how can we do this, but in a decent size that people can still get up and go, but, use it regularly and be compact and all the things. And we were doing the honey straws. So the straws were like big, thick jumbo straws. We either cut them in half, or like they were super tall ones. And we put our little sticker on it. We heat sealed both of the bottoms and the tops. And like, it was a whole assembly line.
The honey hustle.
And like different things going on, and just, share with people, what you could do with it. And, shockingly, the honey does so well because everyone knows what honey is. Everyone knows how to use honey. I mean, it's very easy. Like, oh, well, I'll try that. It's
Yes.
And that what's really interesting is now we fast forward to we now have a facility out in Colorado. So they are now making our honey and agave, so we don't have to do that anymore.
We're no longer making
yeah, but
hey, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's our
audience, this is the product. This is how it comes to you. This is the agave, and this is the honey, and they come in these really, really nice packets where you just have to take off the top there if you notice that I've done so. And so you just squeeze it out. But you guys said that you're working with people already in Colorado?
Yeah, so we did this. Okay, I gotta kind of go back to give any reference. So I come from a construction, architecture, engineering background with marketing. So right off the bat, when I graduated college, I was working at a construction company. I meet this guy. He's an engineer. Fast forward about 10 years, we meet back up, have lunch, and he's asking me, well, how's everything going? And he was like, oh, is this CBD? I can make that. He worked with, huge pharmaceutical clients. So he was like, that's easy. So we kept the conversation going. It turned out to be really great. Another guy that really formulates and creates things, he was in Colorado. So we all just partnered up and made it a mutually beneficial relationship where we could all, we felt comfortable because we were no longer doing it, and we're not scientists. We don't know, we're working, doing the best that we can, but we recognized something and waited it out and kept going long enough to be aligned with that situation. So, but yeah, in Colorado we have that, and here we have we're in a couple of stores here now.
And you're in Atlanta.
Yes, we are in Atlanta. Yeah, we're in Atlanta, which is interesting all in itself. So it's nice to people that are even aware somewhat of the medical and emotional support that cannabis provides. Because here in the South, we have to really claw and fight because there's such a conservative thought around it. And it's such a stigma, and we're like, no, we can speak. We have a business. We put ourselves together. Like cannabis does not take away any of that. It adds. So that's what we're in the process doing in the South, is really a lot of education, and also showing them what the vibe is, being an example. So when we have events, like, we just vibing, so, and people usually, we have free CBD gummy tasting. So we'll have, everybody so everybody's just vibing. And once you feel that in a community atmosphere and socially distanced, of course, it's really nice, a big space. And people were able to vibe, and especially during the pandemic, that was what a lot of people needed.
Yeah.
Good. That's so fabulous, because the thing about it is, and that's one thing why I started the show, in terms of the education piece. There are people out there who are using cannabis, every day, and they just don't know why. They don't understand. They know that they like to be high, but they don't realize that the body, once there's receptors in our body, there's a whole system in our body that's ready to receive cannabis. And so once it does, it balances certain aspects of our body out. And that's the reason why I decided to do Bud Talk, because to me, it's important to talk about this stuff. It's important for people to understand. And so it sounds like you both, man, everybody's trying to get in, you are both doing that education while giving people something to have so that they can use it while they're being educated. And that, to me, is really what I like about the World of UNOIA. It's just really important to me. So you said that you met with somebody who could take the chemistry out of and give it to, someone else. And I love that. So that means that you all have what are they called? COAs. And audience, important to know when you're buying any products out there, whether it's something with THC and you're in a dispensary atmosphere, or you're buying products in a wellness center or something, and COA, so what is it? A contract of
certificate
of authenticity.
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, a certificate of authenticity. And so basically what that certificate is a breakdown of the product and the way that it was tested, the fact that it has what it says it's supposed to have in it, the dosage, if there's any chemicals in there that were found. Every product should have a COA behind it. And I know I asked like as if I didn't know, but of course I did my research. Y'all have that, and that's why I felt open and available to eat your gummies, which I had, and they're very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very, very good with helping with the 10 milligrams, and I'll show audience what we have. They have, but the 10 milligram chews were very good when it came to needing to prep actually for this moment. So thank you for that. You have the COA. How do you make sure that you keep that authenticity?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was something that we struggled with initially. One, it is an investment. It's quite the investment to do it the right way.
Sure.
And because there's not any regulation saying you have to do this, it makes it sometimes even harder to give that money across, right? Because it's not saying we need to. But what we want to be is, we've always, in how we are in life, we go above and beyond. And we want to make sure people feel comfortable, because there's a lot of people, specifically in this city, Atlanta, they come to us, even when they may be shy or are worried somebody's going to know they are interested. They come to us about it. And so, that's really, really dope that we get to be that for a lot of people to kind of learn what's going on. But the COAs, we found a lab here in Georgia. It's like the first hemp lab that's completely registered, all good. And we were excited to work with another Georgia company, because we have to create that community here. Because New York is setting the stage. I'm ready for us in the South to start getting it together.
Yes. And I just want to update the audience. It's certificate of analysis. And so, the idea of authenticity, which is what I said, seems as though what we're talking, but it's really analysis. So that's actually more important for you to know. Certificate of analysis. Yes. And so I definitely want to talk to you both about the branch out, the New York and the Baltimore, which is where I am. I want to hear more about that. But I just want to make sure that people understand that your products, though, who has decided what products you would have? I know the honey, I understand the agave, but the salve and the gum, who decided that? And then I saw you had the love box and kind of stuff. Who decided that? Where did you guys make that decision? Who made that decision for you?
It's really us having conversations about what feels true to us. She played tennis.
We're both collegiate athletes, and hurt. We're getting old, and we don't really like to do Tylenol and things like that. So if it's not plant, it's topically, it's just amazing. And even topically, I have the best sleep of my life. Not just having the ingestibles, like the roll-on or the salve. Like I have like the best night's sleep just rubbing that in my body. Like it's really dope.
And that was how we thought about that. The honey and agave, mostly around her voiceover. The gummies was just, people kept on asking us, and we weren't big. We were like, I don't know, gummies. But then we start using them, and we were like, this is dope. The gummies, you don't have to think about dosage. So that was
I
interesting.
get a better night's sleep on the gummies than I do with THC.
Yeah.
Because THC, I feel like my mind is still going and wandering. Doesn't really stop it.
And that's fair. That's fair.
And the CBD is just like a really mellow, oh, I'm tired now.
Yeah.
Like it feels so responsible. It's so, I'm going to go to bed in my bed upstairs and not on the couch,
And not on the couch, right.
And the other thing that we have that I sometimes use it back and forth between the gummy is, and why we think it's special, is that we have like the CBD oil, like the tinctures.
Yes.
And so what we have is the Georgia peach flavor. So it's a rep for our state and city to kind of have a Georgia peach flavor to represent. And then, like I said, we have dogs. So that was very true to us too. We had one dog that had a lot of issues and seizures, and we realized how CBD was helping her.
It was crazy to see the transformation just in her journey. Like she was able to live a lot longer off of having it daily, and she just seemed more at peace, than being out on the medications that you normally get prescribed from human and pet. If we're being honest.
Exactly.
And we also brought in a new puppy. So there's so many different ways CBD can be used, and they're really true to us. Every single day, there is a product of ours that we're using.
That's so cool to say.
If not at least 2 or 3, we're definitely using the dog CBD every day. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And it's interesting that you say that in terms of to even bring it back to the THC. It's important that you mention that because, the fact that you feel more relief from the CBD. And, I always like the audience to understand what we're talking about, right? Because we want them to leave here and ask questions about how it could be beneficial for them, but we want them to have some sort of education, right? So we understand that, first of all, THC, where THC goes when it's introduced into our body, whether it's, oral, smoking, well, not so much topical, but the oral, the smoking, the tinctures, it goes to the brain. It goes to the receptor that's in the brain. So when it comes to thinking and having that, and having that kind of thought process and so forth, that's the reason why, because that's where THC goes. CBD, on the other hand, does not go to the CB1 receptor, and the CB1 receptor is in the brain. And what do we call the CB1 receptor? Cannabinoid receptor, which is cannabinoid is cannabis. So we have a whole receptor in our body that's called cannabis. Like, how cool is that? You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me it doesn't belong in my body if I don't have a whole system that is dedicated to it. Having said that, when you take CBD, it goes to the peripheral parts of the body, which is like the immune system. So it helps with inflammation, and it does help with epilepsy and so forth, which seizures come as a effect of, or a side effect of epilepsy. So it helps with those things. So having a 10 milligram gummy of CBD on your way to bed is definitely going to give you relief. It's going to give you bring the anxiety down. It's going to bring the inflammation down in your system, especially if you're dosing small doses each day. So, it's just, I love what y'all are doing, because it just, you're using it in the right way, and then you're being able to share it with other people, and it works. It makes sense.
And the other way for people that are watching, that we like to describe it, is THC gives you something. To us, it gives you a high. When we're trying to describe the differences, right? It gives you a high. There's something that comes with that. CBD is about what it takes away. So we talk about CBD takes away anxiety. It takes away a lot of those voices in our head. It takes away chronic pain, inflammation. So sometimes it's like, oh, do I feel anything? It's really the lack of feelings that you have. And that's how we really love to describe it, is like, oh, I don't feel it. It's like, be mindful. And that's why mindfulness is so important. Know where you are so that you know if you feel any different. Because some people just moving so fast, you don't even know how you feel.
They don't even know. When I'm at the dispensary, I have to tell people, don't keep dosing till you feel high.
Right.
It's about feeling relief.
Yeah.
Where are you when you feel relief? After an hour, does your back hurt? That's the gag. Not do you feel high? And that would change people's perspective because again, we talked about stigma. There's a stigma with cannabis where it's all about getting high. That's a stigma because that's not the case. It's pain relief, it's anxiety relief, it's all of these other things. And so I'm just happy to know two sisters are in the game speaking the truth, of the matter. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, so talk to me now about where you all are going. So you're in Atlanta. I got your products it's over there now, but in a wonderful box. That's all like I'll tell you, audience, I'll let you see it, but it's a nice box, it's very, contoured to you all. How far are you sending these boxes? Like, what is it? Where are you going with this?
For a side note, and I think this is fun, and also it's like talking about my baby, but I designed the logo, the packaging, and all of the boxes and all of that stuff. So really, every design really comes from the heart. Like it's really who we are. So I think that's why it translates so well. So we have different size boxes. We have a joy box. So we say, here's your box of joy. And you got the peace box. So, here's your box of peace. We also have an enlightenment box. And then we also have like our bigger, if you were to get the ultimate CBD box, we have like the ones with our faces on it and UNOIA and all that stuff. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but we got boxes.
I brought the boxes up. I was impressed. Because you get products in the regular old white box.
Right.
So, and I'm gonna show y'all, audience. I'm gonna get up and get it because it's important to me that y'all are making, that you're making that kind of how do I say this? Specialty, for customers. That is special. When I saw it sitting for me, I knew it was from you both, and I was very happy to receive it. Yeah,
that's so great because it's very about intention, and that's why we created this brand for people to feel comfortable about themselves. Know that this is something that they're getting for themselves. And we're all about beautiful thinking. It literally means beautiful thinking. There you go, peace. She got the peace box, and I'm from a marketing background, so it's gotta be clean, the way that I see it in my head. So, and also to be completely honest, being a Black-owned company, being a woman-owned company, there is always like, let me see if it's what it's supposed to be. Is it? And so, my intention and our intention was like, you know what? We're gonna be so good. We're not competing with people here. Yeah. We're not competing with CBD. We're competing with. Let's create a brand like Apple.
Yeah.
Let's create a brand that feels so good to your soul that you can buy into it, and that's what we believe. We really are growing a community of beautiful thinkers and people, men, women. It's just like something that people have pride about, and I think that's really, really super dope. Like, because it's who we are, and we want to give that to the world.
And it's nice that it's known as the brand that it is, not just because it's gay or because we're, check all the boxes that I was told growing up I should not check, as in, being Black, being gay, and being a woman, like that's a lot of things. And then, this is ours.
Yeah. And it's coming straight from the heart. So we're happy that you felt that, and I think a lot of people are feeling that. So it's exciting.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I definitely did. And when I put on Instagram, I like to keep it completely 100%, and I put on there, I said, I got my little care package. I felt like I was in college again, I got my care package. I have my little things in there, and tucking them all around. And, like I said, in preparation for tonight, I had a 10 milligram chew. And so it helped me, and I consume, and I've told my audience this is the product. I told my audience this back on the medical episode that I did. And if, and I'll tell at the end, but if you missed any episode, they are available on my website. But I talked about my condition and how I wound up in this industry, cannabis industry, and it's ulcerative colitis, which is the inflammatory bowel issue. And so for me, it's all about keeping my inflammation down. So anything that I find out helps to keep my inflammation down, that's what I'm into. So CBD, THC, small amount, because like you said at the top of the show, I have to be as productive as they come. And so you can't be just sitting around high, you have to have small amounts of THC and so forth, so I'm just happy to have you guys, ladies, I have to work on that, have you ladies on.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, before we get to questions, because I see some questions coming in, are you all thinking about going and expanding to other places? Like, would we be able to find you in Baltimore? How does it work? How do people get to your products?
Well, right now everything is through our website. So because we're in Atlanta, we are small to medium. In some places we are places that'll take CBD. We don't necessarily want to be in all the time. Like, you don't have to worry. And we don't want to be in those spaces. We consider ourselves a luxury brand. And so, we're thoughtful about that, but also we're not big enough for other spaces. So we're trying to figure out still right now is distribution and trying to figure out where can we go. So if you or anybody watching says, we would love to have UNOIA in our space, in our city, we are 100% down. We have really been thoughtful about how we scale, so we feel comfortable that we can cover that. But it's just really at this point, we don't know. We're in Georgia, you know what I mean? Like, we're just like, I don't know what y'all doing up there. And really, we launched our whole product line was right in the middle of COVID last year. So, but ended up being a perfect time because a lot of people were focusing on their health. And, we had enough people saying, I think I'm probably drinking a little too much throughout my day. And all I want is that relaxation that wine gives me. And we were able to help them with that. And, as people were even having meetings at home, the dog stuff, it all just worked out that we were there in that time. It's an alignment.
Good. Yeah, that's God. It's funny because this is my show. So for a second I was like, "Oh, do I say that?" But it's my show, so I'm allowed to say whatever I want to say. That's God. That's God. That is, because things come together. Even as this interview has come together, and in the way that you all met my cousin, and then I was able to bring you online. It's just when things are aligned for you, it's just good to be able to say thank you. It's good to be able to say thank you. So I'm glad that things are working out for y'all.
Thank you. We were looking forward to this. Just connect with other like-minded people.
Yes.
Atlanta, they think we're crazy down here. Like, just wait.
You'll see.
Yep, absolutely. So I want to get to the audience. I see here a couple of people are asking questions. Oh, you know what? Here's a good. Oh, I wanted to let the audience know something in terms of the comment about Georgia, right? And being in Georgia. People might be like, well, what do they mean? It's hard. So cannabis, and we've talked about this on other episodes, but it's always important to run this home. Cannabis is is still rather federally illegal. It is a federally illegal drug. And so that means that it can't be transferred across state lines. It can't be smoked or consumed in places that are federal. Like, so, you can't be driving up and down the highway. It's a federally illegal drug. However, the states have decided to make programs for medical purposes. And some states have even gone as far as recreational, which, like we know, is not a state, but DC. CBD, when it is less than 3%, 0.3% THC, it is considered hemp and it can be available to you, audience. So when it has less than 0.3% THC, then it can be sold to you, right? When it has anything more than 0.3%, you have to get it from a dispensary or, unfortunately, the black market. And so what we are talking about in Georgia is that there are not every state has not made room for cannabis, and Georgia is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're a state that has made room for a certain amount of THC, but they have not made room for the plant in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if you are a medical patient, you are a cancer patient, and you are in need of the nausea reducing properties of cannabis, you can't get that THC in Georgia. You could come here to Maryland, but you have to be a resident. You have to be able to show you're a resident, and you have to be able to prove that you've lived here. It's a whole thing. And so states, that's how it works. And so Georgia is one that we need to advocate that they need to loosen that up. New York, we just saw them release recreational.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it passes. That means that we'll be able to have bars and I'm looking forward to that. Only clubs and child, that's gonna be a thing.
Right, that just sounded fun, right?
But it's not readily available, y'all. So I want you to understand that. So when they're talking, when Brande and Danielle are talking about they're in a state that doesn't have friendly laws towards the plant that their products are coming from, this is what they're talking about. So just wanted to get that understanding out there. Hopefully you're in a state that has medical. And if you aren't, and this is important to you, talk to your legislators. Yeah. Talk to your legislators, because CBD, THC, none of it is on the level of heroin, which is what cannabis is labeled next to on the Schedule 1. And I could go on, but we won't. So having said that, fight for your rights. So we have somebody who, the reason why I got into that was somebody had asked, are these items available to everyone? Do you need your marijuana card to purchase? So that's why I wanted to, kind of put that out there. Let us know, can people just buy your stuff?
Yeah, so because of the Farm Bill of 2018, we are, and all of our products are 0.0% THC, so it's non-detectable. But you can see, I'm so sorry, sorry. But we are a 0.0% THC because we're in a very conservative state and we don't want any problems. But with that, it is federally legal because it is considered hemp. Therefore, we can ship. We can, we have products going all around the country right now. We just had somebody buy from Iowa to, even California. People are just really learning about our products. So you don't need anything but our website to buy. Which is World of UNOIA. Actually, you can see our that's our Instagram and Facebook and all those things. Website. So worldofUNOIA.com. Start shopping, and you don't need anything. You can send it directly to you because it is CBD in a sense derived from hemp. less than 0.3% is federally legal according to the Farm Bill of 2018. Check that out.
And if you have any questions, just ask us. Email us. We're right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I will say that yes, these ladies are very available. And that helps, because people don't understand, and the stigma with cannabis, just, in the Black community alone, in terms of it's the gateway to harder drugs. We've heard it. We know about the DARE program. We know about all, the war on drugs, and it all affected us. And so now here we are trying to say to you, no, it's okay. The plant is okay. We understand. It may be rough. You may say to you, I don't know what y'all talking that foolishness, but at the same time, I want you to understand that prior to 1937, people were using cannabis. It was in the pharmacopoeia. Right. Which was the pharmacy bill, where it had all of the drugs in it. Cannabis was readily prescribed. It wasn't until we had people who don't look like us go in office and try to change, which they did successfully, because here we are today.
A crazy marketing campaign.
That lasted.
A very successful marketing campaign.
Successful. And Big Pharma came all the way up.
And now they are fighting Big Pharma to create synthetic cannabinoids. I'm taking I'm in a master's program for medical cannabis, and so right now the class I'm in is chemistry and drug action, and they're talking about a lot of the studies that I'm reading are talking about creating synthetic cannabinoids to mimic THC. So you're trying to now take the plant, and make it into pills, because it's not soluble. It's not, how it's not water soluble. It's better when you separate cannabis. I'm talking a lot of different chemistry stuff, but the point is, y'all, there's a whole group of people out there trying to make money off of the plant, and our brothers and sisters have been locked up and mistreated for it. And so when I see a company like UNOIA, it says to me, fight for them, root for them, invest in them, because they're going to be the ones that take us out of a sense of being beat back by the man. So that's why I want y'all on the show. And I'm just glad to have y'all. So I don't know if I told the audience that they can ask questions. I saw one, and so I read it off, but please ask questions. We only have a few minutes left, and this is your time, audience. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to us, and I just want people to be able to, talk to you both while you're here. Even if somebody, knows of a company that's looking for CBD, something like that. How can we get you? How can we help? How can the Bud Talk series help you?
Yeah, I think I really appreciate everybody that's listening and watching, and I think like we said, we made sure to take strides to make sure we are above and beyond on everything that we're doing, from marketing to brand to lab tests to all of that, to really be a standout brand that is, you're not supporting just because we're Black, you're supporting because it's good. And that's what we want people to really get, because we are all these diversities. We're human, and that's why we can create something like Beautiful Thinkers. You don't have to have identity with that. You can just be a beautiful thinker, and that's enough, So we appreciate anybody that knows, like, hey, how can we spread beautiful thinking? And that's really as simple as it is. And as people are kind of coming up with questions, we also have, because we have a voiceover artist here.
Hello.
We have some meditation. We have a meditation on our YouTube that it was great. So we usually tell people to take CBD about 25 minutes before, play the meditation. And that's amazing. It's amazing, because all of it is beautiful thinking. So
I love that. I love that. That is one of the things that with clients that I work with, we talk about that automatic thinking. You know, we talk about the idea that all of us have like a tape that's running, and it came from different places. You know, it came from different reasons, and so we have to be mindful of our thinking in order to start to change. You know, and so again, like I said, I saw your company, and I said after I looked at the website, which we have a comment here. Someone is letting us know that your website is amazing. They said that they honestly didn't know much about CBD before watching the show, and they're looking forward to supporting you and trying your products.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
Mm-hmm. So, you know, so my question, actually well, we got something coming in. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Quick question. What other products, or are there any other products that you're looking to create?
Yes, but we can't tell you.
Share.
We can't tell you.
Right.
Paulette on the, but yes, there's a couple other things that really fit who we are that we want to create. We just need the resources and the ability to do those. Not just resources to get it, but to promote it, to give life into
all
it. And so that's, but yes, we have so many things we want to do, and a lot of it that relates to mental health and mental wealth, which is what our sweatshirt said.
That's right. Mental wealth. That's right.
Yeah. Mental wealth. I got mine on. There you go.
Yeah. That's what I got to get next.
Yeah. For sure.
Next. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, that person was interested. I'm assuming that they're probably looking for something themselves, from something, hot off the press. So, but I will tell them to check out your website, because the offerings that you have now are already very varied, and so, like, I just showed a couple things, but you have several others, and so
we got some products here too. We can.
Oh yeah, so let's show.
So you guys already saw the honey, and the agave is somewhere around here too. But you saw the honey and agave already, and then you also saw the gummies.
Mm-hmm.
But what we also have are we have these oral drops, which is your typical tincture, but the difference is that is a Georgia peach flavor. So that's a big difference here. We can talk to these two.
So this is the 1,000 milligram Polar Freeze, which is amazing. A lot muscle release. So it goes on like Polar Freeze, but like it lasts for a very long time, and I recommend it.
1,000 milligrams, y'all. Just so you know, 1,000 milligrams is going to do it. That's going to
do it.
Yeah, we have. I was gonna say we have it in two different. So 300 people really like 300 works well. The 1,000 is
that gold
great.
Label.
Yeah, that's the gold. Like we have choreographers, different people that will use
people
that.
In service industry, they swear by it.
Yeah. So that's that. Then we have the salve.
We have the soothing salve.
Yeah, that's what I put on my heels the other night.
Absolutely amazing. And ladies, it's really easy to put in your purse. You just put it on any kind of spot that's hurting you, your shoulders, your neck, your knees, your elbows, all the things, your feet for me. And I like to actually cocktail this together with the 1,000 milligram. So all together, you got that 500 milligram and that 1,000. That's 1,500 protection, right, y'all?
Got it. Yeah, I put that salve on my heels the other night, working at the dispensary. It's a lot of moving around and a lot of stop and go. Y'all are athletes, so it's a lot of stop and go, and that'll hurt your feet. So I put it right there on my heels, and sure enough, I was walking around very light-footed.
Good. And you know what? What else too? You brought up a little bit about the date night package that's on our website. So we did that, included our honey agave, our gummies, and the salve. And what we decided was we have to really tell people how to use. There's so many different ways to use CBD, and because it was Valentine's Day, we were like, we're gonna do a CBD and sex campaign. And it's going to be about how, people have anxiety in a lot of different places, as far as like, before work or, different places like that. But sometimes we don't think about sexually. We can be nervous. We can be uncomfortable, and we want to be more relaxed. So when you're more relaxed, you can enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like
without being intoxicated and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, and remembering what you're doing, not being sloppy. Like, see, you're still very there, but you're like, hey.
Right. And you're much
it's
more
me.
relaxed.
It's me. Yeah.
And we had that. We had the gummies to help people kind of relax too. So all of these things, they have so many different uses, and I think that it's really thoughtful to think about when are the times that you feel a little tense or uncomfortable. Those are the times that we should consider CBD in different aspects. If it could be, our shoulder, then let's think about topicals. Maybe we combine that with a tincture. There's just so many different ways to use it. And we are, again, people will come up to us and like, oh, I'll smoke forever. I'm like, look, I didn't stop. Well, this is just an addition to your toolbox.
Absolutely.
It's an opportunity for you to just see that there's different ways. And honestly, we could have gone a different route. We could have, tried to move and get into go straight into THC, but we really wanted that flavor from where we live now, which is Atlanta, which is a very cultural city. It's a dope place to be. So we wanted to bring that energy, and because where we are with, legalization and everything, CBD is the first step. But for sure, THC is to follow as soon as we can.
Okay. Good. Oh, well, that's good to know too. Yeah. For those of us who need a little THC to take me over the edge when it comes to the inflammation. Absolutely. So we are right at the end, but I want to get this question in because it's really important. And we talk about this. People want to know about this information. So here it is. I have consumed marijuana on quite a bit of occasions. Each time it knocks me clean out. Will these products allow me to still be productive while feeling great? Talk to us, ladies. You rub the balm, you rub the salve on your heels. Are you going to be not right? Is it going to shoot to your brain and then you're not going to be okay?
Our products have no THC in them. We would just want to remind.
Yeah. So everybody's different, right? How we always talk about this is that it's like your fingerprint. We all have a very different system. So different things, we're just all different.
Yeah.
So for me, one gummy, for example, is just the right amount for me if I can't find my keys, or if I'm really I'm nervous about something or whatever that is. That still allows me to be very functional, because again, this is only a relaxer. It's not going to mess up how you are.
Psychoactive. No.
Exactly. So it's going to be mostly just a relaxation. So, I'll take one gummy for that. If I want to go to sleep, I'll take 2 gummies. But that's for me. Some people are like, 1 gummy knocked me out. So I just have half of a gummy.
That's right.
It's just really practicing, seeing what works for your body. I like the drops too. And that helps me do a little bit more customization, because the gummies are kind of like, this is your 10 milligram. That's what it is. You can be a little bit more thoughtful about the tincture. So if you want to just kind of see, 0.25 of this 500 milligram, that makes you feel this way, 0.5, and just keep on kind of testing it out. CBD does not have to knock you out. If you have too much of it, it will.
It will. Exactly.
Other than that, it's really about knowing your body and just about anything. Some people can take 3 aspirin and be, so it's really about just discovery and figuring out what works for you.
Absolutely. And it's important, and I mentioned it before, but it's important to note that the way THC works is that it goes straight to the brain. So that psychoactivity is straight to your brain. So when you get high and you have more than 3%, 0.3% THC, which makes it other than CBD or hemp, you are going to feel a sense of euphoria. You are going to feel a sense of maybe enlightenment. Things may be a little bit more exaggerated. However, when you have CBD that is less, that less than 0.3%, you may feel sleepy, yes. But in terms of psychoactivity, in terms of being high, no.
Yeah.
I know we are reached our time, but I do want to get one person in. What if your body is already relaxed and chill, but you want CBD for inflammation and pain? So I guess they left that out there. But I guess they're wondering, can they have CBD in their regular regimen just to help with inflammation and pain?
That's what we do. I mean, if you are, we're tea drinkers over here, so we love putting our honey or agave in our tea. Just it's not really about relaxation; it's just about really just getting ourselves together, balance.
The balance.
And the gummies are really great, but for inflammation too, if you have topicals, that's what we suggest as well. Is you don't really feel much with that other than relief, right? That relaxation. When it comes to it, so you don't have to overdo it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, ladies, I know when we came on, I was like, the hour's gonna go by fast, and we all agreed that it would, and it has.
Yeah.
So we got good stuff in. I'm so happy that I didn't finish. That I didn't let March go out without showing off you two women, because you both are dominant. Yeah, you're dominating, and you're doing good. You're doing good things, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank
you.
you.
So I'm just happy to have had you on. We meaning me here at Bud Talk, want to have you back when you have some new products, when you want to share anything. If you wind up in New York, please come back to Bud Talk. If you are on the Today Show or something, please come back to Bud Talk.
Say that.
We already see the growth and it's dynamic. So you keep up the good.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Will do.
Please let everyone know where they can find you, website, if it's an address, let people know where they can find you.
Well, you can find UNOIA at World of UNOIA, and that's on Instagram, or our website, www.worldofunoia.com. And I'm Brande Elise, and you can follow me at BRANDE_ELISE.
And I am Danielle Gray, and you can follow me at Danielle, DANIELLE, Gray, GRAYMBA. Sometimes people
she's smart.
But
MBA.
But I'll also say for those that are visiting Atlanta, or if you're local to Atlanta, we are in the Village Market, second floor of Pont City Market. We're also in several restaurants, Virgil's Gullah Kitchen. We're in Parlor, Bar. All of them are using our CBD agave to use in their drinks. And so Gaucher's Breakfast Bar as well. And they are actually all Black-owned establishments, which is really cool and close. I mean, we in Atlanta, so So that's where you guys can find us. Make sure to check us out.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, ladies. Well, I am going to say goodnight to my guests, but I want to first say goodnight to you both. I'm just, again, very happy to have caught you in the beginning stages of your rise to fame. I already know it's about to be a serious thing. So I'm gonna be, I'll talk to my audience about how I plan to use your products. So just stand by. But thank you both for being on Bud Talk with Paulette.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So you see that on TV, people get cut off all the time, and you wonder why the person cut them off. I didn't know. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in to Bud Talk with Paulette Simone. Tonight has been amazing. Speaking with the ladies from the World of UNOIA really, really helped me to understand a little bit more about how you go about even getting into an industry where you make products. You know, you heard them say they are in Colorado. They are getting their products tested. You know, they're not just out there at home, you know, stirring up some honey. You know, they're putting their stuff to test and making sure that people are getting products that really help, and they're being thoughtful and intentional. And that's just really what we want, you know, from the cannabis industry. And so I'm just glad that I was able to bring you, my audience, that information. This is Bud Talk with Paulette Simone, where we do education here. We do cannabis therapeutics. And if you are interested in getting in contact with me, I can be reached at www.paulettesimone.com. I can be reached at psmith@paulettesimone.com. And I'm located here in Baltimore, but I'm worldwide. So feel free to reach out to me. I will be back with another episode. I spent some time with Dab and Daddy here in Maryland a couple days ago, and that was really interesting. So I'm hoping to bring you all that. I will see you soon. Thanks again for having me. This is Bud Talk with Paulette Simone.